Hello everyone, and welcome back to our English listening time, where we relax, slow down, and enjoy simple English together, just like a friendly conversation after a long day.
Hi Alex, hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you today, and I hope you are feeling comfortable, calm, and ready to listen without pressure or stress.
Yuki, before we start, I want to ask you something simple. How are you feeling right now, at this moment, honestly and naturally?
To be honest, I feel a little tired, but in a good way because today was busy, but now I can sit down, breathe slowly, and enjoy this quiet time.
I really like that feeling, tired but peaceful, and I think many people listening at home feel the same after work or school.
Yes, especially in the evening when everything becomes quiet, it is a good time to listen to English slowly and let your mind rest.
Today, we are not here to study hard or remember difficult words, but to listen, understand the feeling, and enjoy real English step by step.
That's right, so please relax, listen carefully, and enjoy this time with us like talking with two friends who understand your day.
Yuki, earlier you said your day was busy, and I'd like to talk about that a little more, because the word busy sounds simple, but it can describe many very different experiences, especially at work. So could you tell us what kind of busy day you actually had today?
For me, it was a very quiet but heavy kind of busy day, where I stayed at my desk almost the entire time, reading emails carefully, checking documents line by line, replying to short messages, and completing many small tasks that each felt easy, but together slowly used up all my energy.
I really understand that feeling, because from the outside, a quiet office looks peaceful and organized, but inside your mind, you are always thinking, remembering deadlines, checking details again and again, and worrying about making mistakes, so your body feels still while your thoughts never stop moving.
Yes, and in Japan, many people believe they should not show tiredness at work, so even when the day feels long or stressful, we try to stay polite, calm, and focused, speaking softly and continuing our tasks without complaining, because harmony in the workplace is very important.
That way of thinking shows a lot of responsibility and respect for others, but it can also mean that people carry stress quietly inside themselves, like holding a heavy bag that no one else can see, while still smiling and saying that everything is fine.
I think that is very true, and often the stress does not come from one big problem, but from many small requests, emails, and responsibilities that never really stop, so by the afternoon even a simple task can feel more difficult than it normally would.
When I start to feel that kind of pressure, I try to slow myself down just a little, maybe by standing up, stretching my shoulders, looking out the window, or taking a few slow breaths, not to avoid my work, but to give my mind a short rest.
I really like that idea because many people think rest must be long or special, but actually, even one quiet minute can help you feel more balanced, clearer, and ready to continue working in a calmer and more careful way.
So for everyone listening today, having a busy workday does not mean you are doing something wrong, it simply means you are human, and learning how to take care of yourself during busy moments is just as important as finishing your tasks. When we talk about busy workdays, I think the atmosphere in the workplace is just as important as the tasks themselves, because even if the work stays the same, the way people behave, speak, and react around us can completely change how we feel during the day.
I agree with that very much because in my office the atmosphere is usually very quiet and serious. People focus on their screens, type carefully, and speak only when it is necessary, so the space feels calm on the surface, but inside it can feel heavy or tense.
That kind of quiet workplace can be very good for concentration, but I imagine it can also feel lonely or stressful, especially when everyone is busy with their own thoughts and no one shares feelings or small worries.
Yes, and another important point is that people at work have very different personalities. Some people like to talk, share ideas, and think out loud, while others prefer to listen quietly, think carefully, and speak only when they feel confident.
When those different communication styles come together in the same team, small misunderstandings can happen easily, not because people are rude or unkind, but because they expect others to communicate in the same way they do.
That is very true, and in Japan many people try to read the air, or kuki wa yomu, which means paying attention to silence, facial expressions, timing, and small changes in tone, instead of saying everything clearly with words.
That sounds very thoughtful and respectful, but it also sounds tiring, because you are not only doing your job, but also constantly thinking about other people's feelings and how your actions might affect the group.
It can be tiring, but it also helps keep harmony, and I believe small actions can slowly change the atmosphere, like saying a gentle good morning, offering quiet help, or thanking someone sincerely without making a big scene.
I really like that idea, because it reminds us that a good workplace does not need loud conversations or strong personalities, but simple respect, patience, and small moments of kindness that slowly build trust between people. After talking about atmosphere and people at work, I think it is also important to talk about small kind actions, because sometimes even very small things can quietly change how a whole day feels.
I agree, and in my experience, kindness at work does not need to be big or dramatic. It can be something simple like holding the door, sharing information clearly, or saying a gentle word when someone looks tired.
That is interesting, because many people think helping means doing something special, but often it is just noticing others and acting with a little care and attention.
Yes, and in Japan, people often show kindness in quiet ways, such as preparing tea, leaving a short note, or saying "Atsukuresama," to recognize someone's effort without making them feel uncomfortable.
I really like that idea, because those small actions do not interrupt work, but they make people feel seen and respected, which can slowly reduce stress in a busy workplace.
That is true, and even when people do not say much in return, they usually remember those moments, and it helps build trust over time.
I also think small kindness is helpful when communication is difficult, because instead of explaining everything with words, actions can show support more naturally.
Yes, and when people feel supported in small ways, they often become more relaxed, more patient, and more willing to help others, which creates a better cycle at work.
So for everyone listening, you don't need to change your personality or do something big, just one small kind action today can quietly make your workplace feel a little warmer. We've talked a lot about work and stress today, so I think this is a good moment to change the feeling a little, because sharing happy personal news can brighten the mood and remind us that life is not only about tasks and schedules.
Yes, I agree, and actually I do have some happy news I'd like to share, something small but meaningful, because one of my close friends recently made a big decision that made me feel proud and excited for them.
That sounds interesting already, because big decisions are not always easy. So what happened, and what kind of change did your friend make?
My friend decided to change jobs after thinking about it for a very long time, and although the new job is challenging, it is something they truly wanted to try. So when they told me, I could hear both nervousness and happiness in their voice.
I really like that kind of story, because it is not about sudden success or luck, but about choosing a new direction and being brave enough to take a step forward, even when the future is not completely clear.
Yes, and in Japan, changing jobs can feel scary because people worry about stability and expectations, but my friend said they finally felt honest with themselves, and that feeling was more important than fear.
Hearing that must have made you feel warm inside, because when someone close to us follows their true feelings, it often gives us quiet encouragement, even if we are not ready to change ourselves yet.
That's true, and after our conversation, I felt calmer and more hopeful, because it reminded me that happiness does not always come from big events, but from choosing what feels right at the right time.
I think that is a wonderful message for everyone listening today, because happy personal news does not need to be loud or dramatic. It can simply be a story that gently reminds us that positive changes are possible in everyday life. After a long and busy week, I always feel that talking about weekend plans helps me relax already, because it gives me something simple and positive to look forward to.
I feel the same way, and for me, weekends are not about doing many activities, but about slowing down, resting my mind and enjoying quiet time after several busy workdays.
That sounds very peaceful. So what do you usually like to do on the weekend when you want to relax and forget about work for a while?
Usually, I wake up without an alarm, make a simple breakfast, and then take a slow walk in a nearby park, because fresh air and gentle movement help me feel calm and refreshed.
I really like that idea, because many people think relaxing means staying busy with plans, but sometimes doing less actually helps the body and mind recover better.
Yes, and after my walk, I enjoy spending time at home, listening to music, reading a book, or making tea without checking emails or thinking about schedules.
That sounds wonderful, and for me, relaxing time often means watching a light movie, cooking an easy meal, or simply sitting quietly and letting the week slowly fade away.
I think those small routines are important, because they create a clear line between workdays and rest days, helping us start the new week with more energy.
So for everyone listening, weekend plans do not need to be exciting or expensive, just choose something that helps you feel comfortable, calm, and ready to enjoy your own time. Before we finish today, I think it's a good idea to look back slowly at what we talked about, because taking a moment to reflect can help the ideas stay in your mind more naturally.
Yes, today we talked about busy workdays, quiet offices, different personalities at work, and how small actions and kind words can make everyday life feel a little lighter.
We also shared happy personal news and talked about weekend plans, reminding ourselves that life is not only about work, but also about rest, change, and small moments that bring comfort.
If you are listening now, we hope you did not feel pressure to understand every word, because listening calmly and catching the general feeling is already great practice.
You can listen again, pause when you want, or repeat a sentence softly, because learning English works best when you feel relaxed and curious, not stressed.
We would also love to hear from you. So please leave a comment and tell us one small thing that helps you relax after work or school.
It can be something simple, like walking, listening to music, drinking tea, or spending quiet time alone, because everyone's way of resting is different.
Sharing your thoughts is good English practice, and it also helps us feel connected, even though we are all in different places.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please like this episode, subscribe for more gentle English listening, and we'll see you again next time.